stranded.
If we see a gar, the plan is to use the net gun to actually catch the gar. And then we're going to land the chopper, wrap the gar in a net, and take it to a larger body of water where it can survive through this drought.
I'm not sure if capturing a fish like this has ever been done before. If we can pull this off, it's going to be pretty incredible. Alligator gar is the largest fish in this region. It can get up to 10 feet long and weigh over 300 pounds. And gar are found in the exact same area as catfish. I want to know if these legends of monster catfish could be a case of mistaken identity. The plan is simple. Fly over the landscape and go from mud hole to mud hole looking for gar.
Gosh, man, this whole area looks really dry. It looks like a bad drought you guys are having.
Unbelievable. If you looked at it 3 years ago compared to now, all of this would be underwater right now. This drought we're in is absolutely killing us right now.
I need to find these fish fast if we're going to have a chance to save them. What I'm looking for is splashing, shadows, or the backs of big gar.
Look at how shallow that water is. You can see all of the tracks from animals and birds that have been feeding. It does look like there's some fish in this pool, but no gar, no larger fish. There's a mud hole dead ahead, and there's fish trapped in it. You see it, Josh?
Yep, I mentioned it's going to get into the wind.
Wow, look at that. There are a dozen gar in this hole, and you can see this is a hole that used to be connected to the river, and now the fish have been trapped. You can see how hardy these gar are. They're still alive, even in inches of water. There's just a few days left to live. It's the larger fish that are most vulnerable to this shallow water. So we'll come back and get these smaller gar later. We're going to see if we can't find a little bit larger fish and go ahead and net it with the gun. That's just crazy, though.
Look at that one.
Oh man, there is a big alligator gar right in the center of this pond. Wait till you see this thing. This is a large fish. So Josh, let's hover right over that fish. Ready to load the gun?
Ready to let it go.
Okay. Gun is loaded. I'm going to lean out. Give me the okay, but I'm going to wait until I can see it. Just trying to get a beat on its fin before I shoot the gun. Where are you, fish? See it, Josh?
I'm not seeing anything right now.
Oh, where'd it go? Where are you, girl? I saw its back, and that thing, it looked like it was at least 6 feet long. There is a large gar. Oh, there it is. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Good shot.
I think I got it.
Let's go.
Josh, I'm going to clear out. Okay?
Keep your right down here next to the wall.
Okay, I'm taking the cones off.
Good to go.
Immediately I can see that the net has spread out over the entire fish. It's a bullseye. I'm just going to reach my hands under here, and I'm just trying to feel its head. Oh, there it is. I mean, just look at the width of its back. It's probably 7 feet long. Look at that fish. I can see right away that it would be pretty hard to confuse this thing with a catfish. But right now, all I'm worried about is saving this fish. The next part of this process needs to happen very quickly. I'm going to hold the gar up to the beach. I'm just going to try to wrap it so that we can transport this gar to a larger pond. Because gar survive for a decent amount of time out of water, we actually transport the fish using the helicopter. We have about a 3-minute ride back to the main river.
This fish is probably already weak or being in that shallow, hot water. So we need to move as fast as we can. We're going to be about a 3-minute flight, and we should be able to set the chopper down right next to the lake and get this fish back in the water.
It's a pretty elaborate operation. We're taking the fish from the mud hole back to the main river where it came from.
Ron, you ready?
Yeah, that was that.
Hey, man. We got it.
Nice. Just taking a little bit of air. Just getting acclimated to this new water. I think the fish is happier to be here than it was in that small pond. This fish here, probably 7 feet long. You can see where they get their name. Triangular shaped head, very, very thick, diamond shaped scales, and long, skinny, cylindrical body. Very cool fish. Rescuing an incredible animal like this is what it's all about for me. Just trying to get it to swim. Yeah, there it goes. Nice. Woo! There's so many things that could have gone wrong. I thought there was no way in hell that we would be able to return a gar back to the river where it came from. And it felt really good to release that fish and see it swim off and know that it was okay. Success! I wanted to determine whether or not the alligator gar could be behind some of the stories I've heard of monster-sized catfish. I don't see how a gar could be confused with a catfish. These legends are not a simple case of mistaken identity. But I've heard story after story of giant fish. They must come from somewhere. And then there's this photo. It's a photo from 1914. And the catfish in this photo, if it really existed, it would have weighed over 500 pounds. I want to separate fact from fiction, and there's one way to settle it once and for all. I'm on the hunt for a monster fish legend. If this photo is real, then it would be proof that at least at one time, there were catfish big enough to start these legends. I sent this photo to Joe Nickel. Joe specializes in verifying the authenticity of photos like this.
I think I can tell you a couple of things. One is, this is an absolutely real, authentic photograph. It's not retouched. There are no darkroom tricks. This is a real McCoy.
Authentic photo.
Authentic photo. But there's something wrong.
Bottom line, you think you can show me how this photo was made?
I think so.
So you think this is how it was done?
Zev, I believe we've got it. So when I said the photo was absolutely real, the photo was. The scene is faked, but the scene mostly uses real objects. We have a real catfish, we have a real wagon, and we have a real picture of you, but it's, of course, a cutout. So, genuine photograph, fake scene.
It's old-fashioned Photoshop, essentially. It's using real objects to create the illusion of a huge fish. So from the right perspective, if you think that this is a full-size wagon, and that's actually me, this looks like a huge fish. That photo might have been a fake, but it was useful for me to get to the bottom of these legends of monster-sized fish.
They see big catfish like that all the time. And they would say they were catfish down there as big as a man.
Oh yeah, huge catfish. You know, size of Volkswagens.
Big Volkswagen.
That's right.
I know for a fact, catfish in Asia can grow over 600 pounds. And all of these legends seem to point to one place.
Next to the dam where it's so deep.
Next to the dam where the spillways is, what below the dam.
I don't care where you go, you hear that story.
Deep water, below the base of a dam. Those could be the perfect conditions for a huge catfish. It's possible that there really could be a monster down there. The one thing that remains to be done is to go to the source of these stories of huge fish, actual source, deep water, below a dam, and find out what's really there.
So one way to test whether or not they're really here is you target them with this big gill net, and we're dropping it in a hole just below the dam to see if there are any big cats right here. This is the best way to target big